Are you a Greater Toronto Area entrepreneur currently paying your suppliers with thoughts and prayers instead of actual remitted cash? Do you find yourself juggling payments, constantly deciding which critical bill to pay each week? Has your business reached the point where you're selling valuable equipment just to cover daily operating costs? And are you perpetually at your credit limit because lenders no longer trust your ability to repay? Is the CRA knocking at your door? Is your bank manager suggesting selling your office furniture? If any of this sounds familiar, don't worry. Facing business financial difficulty is not a failure. It's an opportunity. You are not alone. This video provides an overview of the Brandon's blog below. Brandon clearly explains the issues, the problems, and your options under Canadian insolvency law. You need clear, empathetic, and authoritative advice from the only federally regulated professionals who can actually help a licensed insolvency trustee. The core choice is based on the viability of your business. Brandon discusses the issues and options in this Brandon's blog. My name is Ira Smith, President of Ira Smith Trustee and Receiver Incorporated. Well, this is my real voice, but I am really Avatar Ira Smith. If you have any questions, either about this Brandon's blog or anything else, Brandon and I are available to answer your questions. Shoot us a message, give us a phone call. We would love to speak with you. I hope you can watch until the end of this video and that you find the information helpful.
If you're running a business in the Greater Toronto Area, you know how tough it can be. The costs, the competition, the constant pressure. It can feel like you're just trying to keep your head above water. But if that's you, if you're struggling right now, I want you to know there is a way through it. And today, we're going to look at exactly what that path forward looks like. You know that feeling when you're looking at the numbers and they just don't add up? When the bills are piling up and it feels like you're just constantly chasing payments? That stress is absolutely real, and it is a massive weight to carry all by yourself.
And that's the first and most important thing to remember. You are not alone in this. So many business owners go through this. Facing financial trouble isn't a personal failure. It's a business problem with clear, manageable solutions. And we're going to walk through them together right now.
You know, the key to getting through any kind of financial difficulty is catching it early. The sooner you can spot the warning signs, the more choices you have. It gives you the power to decide whether you can save the business or if it's time to close things down in a dignified, organized way.
So what should you be looking for? Well, these signs are almost always connected. Maybe your cash flow is so tight you have to max out your credit cards just to make payroll. Or you're getting those dreaded calls from creditors. But I want you to pay special attention to that one about the CRA. Falling behind on payroll or HST remittances is a huge red flag. Because as a director, you can actually be held personally liable for that debt, even if your company is incorporated.
When you start seeing those signs, you've basically arrived at a crossroads. And your journey from here boils down to one big question. Is this business truly viable and worth saving? Or is it time to close this chapter and start a new one?
Okay, before we dive into those two paths, we need to clear something up. People use these words insolvency and bankruptcy interchangeably, but they are not the same thing. Insolvency is just a financial state. It means you can't pay your bills on time. That's it. Bankruptcy, on the other hand, is a specific legal process. Being insolvent doesn't automatically mean you're going bankrupt. It just means it's time to get some advice and look at all your options.
So let's talk about path number one, saving the business. If your company is fundamentally good, you have good products, good customers, but it's just drowning in debt, then a formal restructuring process called a Division 1 proposal can be an absolute game changer. So what is it exactly? Well, think of a Division 1 proposal as a formal, legally protected deal that you offer your creditors. You work out a plan to pay them back a portion of what you owe over a set period of time. If they agree, you get to shed a huge chunk of debt and, most importantly, you keep your business running. And the benefits are immediate. The second you file, something called a stay of proceedings kicks in. What does that mean? It means all creditor lawsuits, collection calls, and wage garnishments, they stop instantly. It gives you the breathing room, the peace and quiet you need to fix the problems and get back to being profitable. And this isn't some chaotic, messy affair. It's a very clear step-by-step process. You file for that initial protection, you work with a professional trustee to craft a fair offer, your creditors vote on it, and then the court gives its final stamp of approval. It's a structured path from financial crisis back to stability. Okay, now let's look at that second path. Sometimes a business just isn't viable anymore, and in those cases, the best and strongest decision is to close the doors. Corporate bankruptcy isn't a failure. It's a formal legal process to wind things down in an orderly way so that everyone involved can move on. So, how does it work? In a corporate bankruptcy, a licensed insolvency trustee steps in, sells the company's assets, and then distributes the money to the creditors according to a set of rules. Once that's done, the corporation legally ceases to exist. It provides a clean, final break.
Now, it's really important to know there's a legal pecking order for who gets paid. At the very top of the list is the CRA for things like unremitted payroll deductions. After them, you have secured creditors, like a bank that holds a mortgage on your building. And then last in line are your unsecured creditors, like suppliers or utility companies. They get paid from whatever money is left over, if any.
This chart really sums up the difference perfectly. A proposal is all about saving a business that has potential. You keep operating. Bankruptcy is for closing a business that doesn't have a future, and it gives you that clean break. The right choice really just depends on one thing. Does your business have a realistic shot at being profitable again? Okay, let's get to the question that's probably been on your mind this whole time. What about my personal finances? What happens to my house, my savings, my car? We need to draw a very clear line between the business's debt and your own.
Now, this is one of the main reasons you incorporate your business in the first place, right? To create a legal shield. The corporation is its own legal person, which means its debts belong to it, not you. So generally, creditors can't come after your personal home to pay off a corporate loan. But, and this is a big but, there are exceptions.
That corporate shield has a couple of holes in it. First, if you've ever signed a personal guarantee for a loan or a lease, you're on the hook for that money, plain and simple. Second, as we mentioned before, directors are personally liable for certain government debts, specifically unremitted payroll deductions and GST/HST. The government considers that trust money you are holding for them, and they can and will come after you personally to get it back.
So as you can see, navigating all of this, the laws, the different options, the personal risks, it's a lot. But the good news is you don't have to figure it out alone. In fact, for these formal processes, you are legally required to work with a very specific kind of professional. And that professional is a licensed insolvency trustee, or an LIT. They are the only people in Canada who are federally licensed and regulated to handle a formal proposal or bankruptcy. They're not just debt consultants. They are officers of the court who are there to make sure the process is fair for everyone and that everything is done by the book. And I think this quote from Brandon Smith at Iris Smith Trustee and Receiver Inc. really hits the nail on the head. Asking for help isn't a sign of weakness or failure. It is an act of leadership. It's you, the business owner, taking control of a tough situation and making a strategic decision for the best possible outcome.
So if any of this is resonating with you, if you're feeling that financial pressure building, the single most powerful thing you can do right now is to simply explore your options. Don't let fear or uncertainty keep you stuck. It's time to get clarity. Your business and you deserve a fresh start. A great first step is to just have a conversation. You can reach out to the team at Iris Smith Trustee and Receiver Inc. for a completely confidential, no pressure, no obligation consultation. They're there to listen, to understand your unique situation, and to help you figure out the best course forward. Making that call is an act of courage.